Long COVID appears to be almost equivalent to the 2015 case definition of MECFS provided by the Institute of Medicine. In your opinion, is long COVID the same as MECFS? If not, why not?
I've heard people say that, but that's an oversimplified way to think about it, if you ask me. I think that MECFS is a diagnosis that was known to exist before the COVID pandemic even happened. So we know that patients can get sick after other infections, like I mentioned before, the enterovirus infections, and sometimes even the herpes viruses have been implicated in MECFS cases. So then we have SARS-CoV-2 and people developing long COVID after COVID. I think what people are trying to talk about when they're comparing long COVID and MECFS are that patients often develop common symptoms. So the symptoms that many of the patients develop with long COVID can meet the questionnaire criteria for the symptoms that people had with MECFS before. What this really all means to me is that different pathogens can likely affect similar or dysregulate similar pathways in different patients. And that SARS-CoV-2 may be, for example, let's say disrupting vagus nerve signaling, potentially even infecting vagus nerve in a way that leads to certain symptoms in long COVID patients, and maybe in a patient with an MECFS diagnosis, a different virus infected or dysregulated vagus nerve in a way that led to similar symptoms in them. So it's not really the case to me that long COVID is MECFS or that either of those things are happening, as much as the understanding that patients probably can experience similar dysregulation of pathways and processes by different pathogens. And that's the key trend that we need to take away from the similarities between those two patient populations.